brushing, you're going to take all the way at the toes, and you're going to hold that back with your thumb, and then take your slicker brush and go layer by layer. Come on, Divot. Layer by layer, and just pat and pull until they're combed through. And we're doing the front of the leg now. If you can see that. Doing the front of the leg. And then once we get all the way up, then you're going to move to the side. You do the same thing. But you never want to like dig in and just pull, because it's going to pull their hair. Like you never want to dig in and just yank. You always want to take section and pat and pull. And then same thing with comb. So you're going to have a wide and narrow tooth. Go through with the wide tooth first. And you're going to start the same way and just go line by line all the way up. And once you do that with the wide tooth, you're going to go back and go with the narrow tooth. I know, Divot, you're being such a good girl. You're being such a good girl. I know, hi. But yeah, so then we got to make sure we're going all the way to the skin and pulling up. Yes, good girl. Okay, so proper technique for line brushing. You start at the toes, hold on to the whole leg, and just brush back hair with your fingers. And you're going to use a pat and pull. So as you come down, you're coming off of the skin. You're not going to go down and drag across the skin. That would be painful. And you're going to go up every angle of the leg. She's grumpy growly. I know. I know. And then you're going to do all the other sides of the leg. And then once you get all the way through, with the slicker brush, then you're going to go through with a wide and fine tooth comb. You don't want to forget these troublesome areas like the armpit and the belly, going up the neck where the collar is, and getting up behind the ear and then all the way up the face, especially to the ear canal. Let me turn you, Ginger. All the way up to the base of the ear canal here. Okay, you don't want to miss any of that. But then you're going to take your split wide and fine tooth comb. You're going to go through with the wide first and literally do the same process of line combing, but you're going to take the comb teeth all the way to the skin and pull straight up towards you. And if you can't get through with the wide tooth, then you need to try the slicker again. And if you still can't after 2 tries, the dog is matted. So that is pelting up against the skin, and that is going to be painful to try to get out. Will you stop? So, and we don't want to cause them pain. So they, the best thing to do for them at that point would be to shave down below the matting. Some areas you really don't want to forget is to lift the legs up and get the armpits, both on the back side of the leg and on the body. Okay. And we also obviously obviously you want to make sure that we're getting the vase correctly. So you're going to pull back here and just go light patent pulls, just like that, all the way up to the ear canal in the front of the ear. Okay, and especially where a collar sits, this area tends to get more knotted, so you want to work your way up to the back of the ear. And then for the top of the ear, I usually divide this in sections. So I'll kind of move the top hair over. So I'm working with the bottom sections and then work my way to the tip. And then I'll let some more of that hair go down so I can make sure I'm working that all in. And then I'll switch to the other side and work it this way. Don't forget the underneath of the ear. So if it's easier for you to pull it this way and do that, otherwise this direction, and then just go underneath. Yeah. And then don't forget to check your slicker brush. Just remove the hair and keep going. So for ears, what I like to do is take all this top hair and hold it up to the front like this. Ginger, come on, be a good model. Hold it up to the front like this, and then I'll brush just that under layer all the way off the edge of the ear leather, and then just slowly start pulling hair from it with the slicker brush. And then when I get to this other side, I do the same thing, only the other direction. So I scoop all that back and then brush off the front of the ear straight down. And then you don't want to forget the underside. This side's very important. I see a lot of mats forming on this side very easily. So best to just keep it brushed and combed out, and then I don't have to shave it. Okay, another problem area is usually here around the tail and this butt area. So once you work your way all the way up the leg, you're gonna get this area. It's the same thing, just line brushing, and then of course going through the entire body with a comb, wide then narrow. But the tail, I always start at the tip. The tip usually brushes out nicely. And just go side to side, however you need to. With the standout coat, you're probably going, so like more like this coat style, you're going to want to separate pieces and then go down just like you did with the body. And the tail is probably the most important one to make sure that you're getting all the way to that skin, because that's typically how I find those knots, is I can't get a comb all the way through to the skin, but the rest of it looks completely brushed out. And so you're going to go all the way to the skin, pull out. All the way down, pull out. Yes. Good girl. So, and this is a sensitive area, so if there are tangles, you want to hold the hair as close as you can to the skin so that you're not pulling directly on the skin. That's it. See, Divot's a good girl. Divot's a good girl. This area up here in the tuck up also notorious for getting matted. Sometimes they'll lick there, and that will cause some added matting. So just making sure that you get all the way up there is very important. Okay, so we have gone through the whole body here. So now I can literally comb anywhere, and she is completely tangle free. All the way down. But yeah, these tuck up areas, those are little sneaky spots that tangles like to stay. In the belly and the armpit, this elbow area, and I can go through with my fine tooth comb. Good girl. All the way to the skin. The inside of the legs. And she is all combed through. Yeah. Yes, you are, huh, Divot? Yes, you are. I know. I know, babies. Good girl.